In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, I wish to state that on July the 5th, 2019, the notice of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded up until the closed session portion of this meeting and will be available on UTTV Channel 97 and on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct that this announcement be made a part of this meeting. I would ask all to rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Barbara, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Coggins?
Here. Here.
Mr. Corson?
Present.
Mr. Young?
Here.
And Mayor Plummer?
Here.
All members present.
You know what, before I saw that Mr. Woolley's here, we do have a little resolution that we can. Okay, so would someone like to make a motion honoring Tom Woolley for his retirement from Upper Township?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Is all in favor?
So Tom, would you come up and get your resolution? So I'll read it real quick. Whereas Tom Woolley has retired after 27 years of exemplary public service to this community within the Department of Public Works.
Come on, Tom.
Tom began his career with the township in 1992 and has served as a laborer, truck driver, equipment operator, and supervising equipment operator from 2008 till the present. Throughout his tenure, Tom has always executed his duties with diligence and skill. It is most appropriate that Tom's tenure of public employment and his years of hard work and dedicated service to this township be publicly recognized. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Township Committee that Tom be publicly congratulated on the occasion of his retirement from the Township of Upper, that he be publicly thanked for his many years of dedicated public service, that this committee, on behalf of all the citizens of the Township, extend to Tom, our fellow employee and friend, our very best wishes on his retirement and his future. So, a round of applause, please.
I'm going back to work. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks.
So, do you have something for us this evening?
No, I just have to look at the minutes.
Daniel?
Nothing at this time, but we do have a handful of items for closed session.
Paul?
I'm going to have nothing for this evening.
Wow. Barbara?
I echo that in this evening.
Miniman Coggins?
One brief thing. I've been made aware that the vehicle that's used by City Hall here for Shelley for making bank deposits for the various errands that have to be done through City Hall is in pretty deplorable shape. From what I understand today, it was heating up. They couldn't even get the hood open because it was so hot. I know that we have money available in some of the prior bonds that we could repurpose for this, but I made the suggestion to Mrs. Ludi that we get some prices on leasing. The vehicle's driven very few miles for the length of time that it's used, and it may be more cost-effective in this case to lease.
Okay.
So if there are no objections from my fellow committee members, we'll have a look at what the lease price would be and see if maybe that would be a more cost-effective way of getting this done.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. The only thing I would ask is when they go to their CE credits and stuff, do they take that vehicle as well?
Sometimes it is used. Yeah.
So, leasing usually comes with like a 10 or 12,000 mile limit a year, and it doesn't sound like anybody's going to come near that.
We don't
so.
come close to it.
This vehicle, I think, is approximately 12, 13 years old and has about 70,000 miles
It's
on
the
it.
Blazer.
So, yes, we're well under the mileage cap.
Okay. And most of our fleet has been transferred over to Explorers, right? Whatever the Ford Explorers.
Yes.
And we do very well with them. They seem to hold up pretty well, so.
And in this case, we may even be able to get away with a compact sedan, because it's just used on short trips, and it's really not used for any,
How about one of them smart cars?
I don't know if I'd go that extreme.
We may look into that because that's one of the best practices for electric cars or for the hybrid cars, so we may look into
Well, you can
that
look
as
into the
well.
hybrid. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, you want something with some room though.
Bob, do they use that car also when they go for conferences and
Yeah,
so,
that's-
so
Absolutely,
it could be 4 people in it without an issue?
yes.
So that's
Probably
something-
five, I mean.
That's what I'm asking.
5 people,
We,
so.
we don't want to get something too small. So,
Yeah,
we
I
need to
know
look at
there
that.
are times that Public Works will use the vehicle, you know, only 3 people can fit in the truck, but usually a car or an SUV, you could fit, 4 or 5 people. So sometimes Public Works will use it as well.
Good. And that's all I had.
All right.
The only thing
Name it young.
the only thing I had tonight is to report on the 4th of July. Again, I want to thank Barb and the clerk's office, and especially Barb and Larry for the job, well-done job. And they were out there all day on 4th of July manning the blow-up houses, and we were, again, short-staffed as far as being able to do some of the things we wanted to do. But without them, we couldn't make this even possible. So to your entire staff, Barb, thank you so much. Also to the Public Works guys that came in, especially John Adams and Mike Jones came in as supervisors for us, and I think we had about 8 other guys that came in.
And girls.
And girls.
Women.
They busted their pretty well all day long, parking cars, directing traffic, getting things set up for us. And so it was a pretty big success. Smaller turnout this year with vendors than we've had in the past. But I think we're finding out that it's hard to get vendors there for a 3-hour deal. One thing we need to look at is going in next year will be the fees that we're charging for the smaller events. The fee we had for the food vendors this year seemed to be a detriment to getting other vendors there. So we'll need to relook at that for next year again. And again, the firework people did a phenomenal job. It was well over a half an hour with a great finale, and all the fields there were packed with people. I don't know how many we had, John, but there was probably 5,000 people out there. It was a lot. So again, another success, and we are starting work on the car show, which is September the 28th, starting this Friday. I'll be having a meeting with Barb and Larry for that, to get that off the ground. That's it.
All right. And I echo Committeeman Young's comments.
I'm going to thank Rich too, because he came there and did what I always asked him to do, be public relations and talk to everybody.
I didn't put in the work that you guys did. I was happy to be there and happy to watch the fireworks. They were great. They really did a nice job this year. Deputy Mayor Barr.
No, you took my steam away now, so. No, but anyway, kudos to everybody for working on the 4th of July celebration, and also to Strathmere, again, a great parade. And I think the kids really had a good time this year. They were-
I actually thought
They were running all over the
the
joint.
crowd at the Strathmere Parade was
Oh,
about
yeah.
as big as it's been in a
Yeah.
long time. So
And you know what? We didn't run out of candy either. We did pretty good this year.
we started getting a little sparing towards the end.
You couldn't see the striping at the end of the day on Commonwealth because there was candy all over, smushed in.
It was really a lot of fun.
But no, it was a good time. A little hot at times, but I think everybody had a good time. That's all I have.
Committeeman Corson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one thing for personnel, and I'm going to ask if we can move personnel first and ask Jay Potter to stay for us.
Okay.
In closed session. That's
And
all I have.
I don't have anything. I think we covered pretty much the entire week. I did deal with one issue. I helped the captain of the lifeguards on Saturday. There was a vehicle that was on the beach that wasn't supposed to be there, so rather than put him in a difficult position, I went with him and told the person that they needed to remove it, so hopefully that'll put an end to it. That's all I have. So let's move on to the resolutions.
To the minutes.
Oh, the minutes. Oh, I forgot that. All right. Someone like to make approval of the minutes from the last June meeting, June 24th, the regular and closed session minutes.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Horson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried, all in favor? Under resolutions, item number 1, recognition and appreciation of Roy Schoen on the occasion of his retirement from the Township of Upper, and we will invite Roy in to make the presentation to him at a later date.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 2, congratulating employee Linda Laughlin of the Upper Township Construction Office for her winning entry in the Upper Township Safety Award Program for the second quarter of 2019.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 4, appointing James M. Jones as Assistant Public Works Superintendent.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 5, amending resolution number 23, 2019, appointing members to the Upper Township Municipal Court Security Committee.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 6, authorizing the award of a contract with Service Tire Truck Center for tires.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 7, appointing the 2019 season beach patrol personnel contingent upon background clearance.
Move the resolution?
Second. Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 8, authorizing the purchase of certain items and for the chief financial officer to withdraw funds in the amount of $14,475 from the account entitled Recycling Trust Account for such purposes.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 9, authorizing execution of an NJDEP TWA1 application statement of consent form regarding 550 Tuckahoe Road, Upper Township at Block 639, lots 1501, 1502, and 1503.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Paul, this one is in a different area than we normally would see. Why
This
is it?
is for Heritage Acres on Tuckahoe Road, I'll say, just north of Church Road. They received their final site plan approval at the planning board last month, so they comply with all the township rules and regulations as far as ordinances, and they have all their approvals, at least from the municipal side. So this is just one of the other governmental approvals that they need to, in order to build their septic system.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. Can you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 10, authorizing the award of a contract with CDW Government LLC for information technology equipment.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 11, appointing John Radigan and Donald Polo as boat ramp attendants for the 2019 season.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 12, authorizing the purchase of a flail mower from the 2018 capital improvement bond ordinance and the 2019 road repairs and maintenance operating expenses budgetary line.
Move the resolution?
Second. I'd also like to point out here that this is not actually the entire purchase of a new piece of equipment. It's the price of an upgrade for an existing piece of equipment that did not perform as the salespeople had let the Public Works Department know, so they have agreed to give the township full credit for the return, and the money that's going to be authorized here is just to pay the difference in the two pieces of equipment.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 13, authorizing the mayor to sign and submit a fiscal year 2020 municipal aid grant application for roadway preservation.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 14, authorizing the mayor to sign and submit a fiscal year 2020 municipal aid grant application for pedestrian safety.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 15, authorizing the mayor to sign and submit an NJDOT bikeways grant application for fiscal year 2020.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 16, under ordinances, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 10, 2019, and ordinance amending revised general ordinance, Chapter 7 of the Code of Upper Township. And if we move forward with this, we can have the public hearing on, let's see, what's the date on August 12th.
Move we introduce ordinance number 10 of 2019 with a public hearing to be held on August 12th.
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item
So
number-
can I just, Paul, is this is with the new lines that have been painted on Commonwealth?
Correct.
Down towards Sea Isle?
Yeah, it's
So
all-
then this would be like a no parking?
This is for no parking along the west side of Commonwealth Avenue, and, we had to wait until the county adopted their resolution enabling no parking, since it's a county roadway. They have to do the resolution, and we follow up with an ordinance concurring with their resolution.
It's a companion ordinance to the county's authority to basically make it no parking.
Okay.
Item number 17, under new business, NJDOT correspondence regarding installation of emergency warning lights along Route 50 at milepost 6.57.
This correspondence is similar to what we had previously when we were asking for the lights at the pedestrian walkway, except this is the request that the fire district in Tuckahoe asked for the warning lights. They're asking you to pay the 25% share. Obviously, this is not for us, it's for the fire company. It may be appropriate for you to reach out to the fire company to ask if they'll pay it.
Well, the chief's here, so.
My personal opinion, it's dangerous. Right now, they're putting fire police out there, which I think we need to do it.
Well, I'm not saying not to do it, I'm just saying it's a cost share, that's all. How much is the
I think what
amount of
Mr.
it?
Corson is saying that he thinks that we should.
I think the township should pay for it. We're paying, I mean, if,
Just so
God
you
forbid,
know, is it in the?
It is not, unlike the previous DOT request that we had where the DOT gave us a budget estimate, they did not give us a
Do you
budget.
have any idea how much it's gonna be?
Not on, I mean, I would only compare it to, it's a similar light feature as what we had requested previously, but that included doing a traffic study. This, I don't think, requires the traffic study, because I think they've already potentially looked at it when they did the road design, so they may have some of the information, but we'd have to contact the DOT to get a more accurate.
And it's probably gonna be next fiscal year, not this fiscal year?
I think the other light was about 25 grand, our cost share.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's your call.
my personal opinion, we're paying workman's comp for firemen to stand out and direct traffic. God forbid somebody gets hit with a car, $25,000 is cheap.
Well, I think beyond, I mean, we just owe it to the safety of the firemen. It's a very busy highway, and, I'm with you, Curtis. I think that this is something that we should support. I mean, they certainly put in a lot of time and dedication, and protect the public whenever there's an accident, whenever there's fires, I mean, so, we're happy that they're there to serve us, and I think that we owe it to them.
I mean, I'm
Take
willing
on
to
that
commit to it, but we need to get a little handle on it.
Let me ask this question, is there any funding in fire district for it?
In the fire district?
Yeah.
We have to ask the commissioners.
Why don't we talk to the commissioners, maybe we can have a shared cost on both sides, between the township and the fire district. It's a taxing agency, I mean, the fire district taxes everybody for fire protection and everything throughout the township, and why not?
Well, I'm not opposed to having that discussion, but I also don't want to rule out having us fund it. I think we need to know where the funds may be allocated. I'm not sure, what kind of equipment and training and those kind of things that are going towards it, so.
Well, I mean, right now, if we approve funding, or right now, it's going to be in next
We can't really
year.
approve anything because we don't know what it's going to cost.
But it's going to be in next year's budget item, I mean, that's for sure.
We approve the idea that we go further with this to find out what exactly the expense is.
I mean, we weren't told no by the state, that was a good thing. I think we should pursue it, find out what the cost is, and definitely plan on doing it. I think we should budget it next year. We could,
You're absolutely right, and having grown up next to the firehouse, I know, especially during the summer months, it's a mess for you guys to get your trucks out of there, or even for the guys coming in. Again, the townships and all the fire companies, and I wanted to thank you, which I missed it, for the 4th of July, and my apologies for that. If you could express that to the rest of the firemen also, Ed. It's a safety issue there, not only for the firemen, for everybody else coming up and down that street, as
But-
well as the pedestrians.
How much of a task, Paul, is it gonna be to go through the red tape to get this done?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing was getting them to
say yes.
say yes.
I know.
I think
It's-
I think at this point,
It's like,
Well, first of all, I don't think we should procrastinate because very rarely do we get a yes on anything that we apply for.
Can we approve
So-
it based on a certain number?
I think we ought to go ahead with it. I think, if we
can
do,
approve- I think we could approve preliminarily that we're going to support this as a township, and, we can, when, hopefully we'll have an expense so that when the resolution's drafted for the next meeting, we'll have that price included.
I mean, the state's not going to move fast, and I mean, obviously, it's something we got to budget on, and I got to believe if we put it in next year's budget, we'll probably be in their time frame of getting it done. If not, we can probably bond.
I would say that.
we'll definitely be able to
So
have their
there's two
number.
questions we need to ask.
When-
What kind of time frame are we talking about, and how much is our 25% allocation?
And they're asking for a commitment, so I guess, Paul, you can get that information before we do the resolution.
Well, I think, I don't.
I think either way we make the
I think we
commitment.
have the commitment from the township at this point. It's not,
Yeah.
we can do a vote for that. I mean, I don't need to do a
You can do
straw
it now.
poll. I haven't heard anybody say no.
They're not looking for a resolution, I think they'd take a letter.
They would take, they would
So if
be,
you want a motion and second that you'll pay for it, it's kind of a blank check, but that's up to you.
I'd like to make a motion, we write a letter to the state, we're willing to pay for it, we'd like to know the cost before we commit 110%, but we're 99% and the timeframe.
They ask you to commit to it, not wishy-washy. You have to either commit
I'll second.
or-
Listen, we can work out the details. I think we should make a vote, a motion to say that we are committed to supporting the 25% allocation. How it comes, we can still work on that, but we can take a vote if everyone's in agreement to say, yeah, we're committed to doing this.
We'll find a way to make it happen.
there you go.
Yep.
So we have two seconds for each one of your,
Well, I will make what Rich said in the form of a motion.
motions, we got 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think
What's
somebody
the
better
motion
frame
on the
it.
floor? Is it to commit to them as they requested?
Yes.
And I'll second.
By letter and
Do we have another motion?
that's it.
All right, Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Siebel's going to want one next.
Item number 18, is new business. American Aerospace Technologies requests use of Time Place Road on July 11, 2019 for a drone flight test with New Jersey American Water. And this is a request that came in to Mr. Dietrich, and this is kind of an unusual request, that's why it's on.
They just want to go in the cul-de-sac and look at their tower?
They want to be able to launch the drone from the cul-de-sac, and they're going to do a test flight around the water tower and then come back and land.
So this is on Olmer's property, right?
Right.
No, it's on
actually
the township.
It's on,
Township Road.
Okay.
Why don't they do it out of the Acme parking lot?
I think there was too many cars on the Acme parking lot. Knowing that, Pastime Place, really, there is no traffic on it because the cul-de-sac is at the end of where Ulmer has his farm, and he's really the only one with the driveway on that road. And
So they're going to use our street through the farm, or through whatever it's called.
I mean, why didn't they just do it? I mean,
because they're trying to follow
trying to be-
the proper procedures and didn't want to get in trouble, and they're doing the right thing. And so they
it would have been there and gone before anybody
I
knew
think
anything.
I think between myself and Barb's office, we've reached out to all our normal people and followed our normal procedures for facilities of use.
You know what I'm
Paperwork is
They're compliant.
accurate, and the insurances are in place, and the correct opinions from the state police, the public safety, and your risk management, the consultant have been obtained.
Chief, would it be of value to have, both chiefs, would it be of value to have some of that recording when they go over the tower to see what our frequency, things that we have up there are working, or?
I think,
We could probably
we've
make
actually
approval
had-
with the idea that we could at least get some of the video that you guys could look at, from the
I think
public
all our
safety
stuff is
standpoint.
relatively new. We recently had somebody on top of the tower doing
Yeah, but
some
I don't
work.
think it hurts to have a record of it.
If we take an aerial photograph, we call it out, so we can document the antennas.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we can approve this with the idea that we'll get some sort of picture or video of what they're taking on top of the tower. You guys all right with that?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
So someone make a motion to approve it?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 19, Ocean City Crew Boosters request waiver of permit fees for the replacement of a boathouse at 400 Roosevelt Boulevard.
There is some precedent for this, but just to make it clear, we can waive our fees, but as far as the professionals, like the attorney for the board, that would be up to them whether they're going to charge the escrows.
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Second.
Steve, how long has this been?
Almost 6 years.
I know, I remember the meeting we had
6 years in the
with Ocean City,
I
that
think
had to
you-
be 4 or 5
I think your
years
kids
ago,
were
right?
freshmen in high school and now they're in college.
There you go.
And you're still working on it. That says a lot about you, Steve,
Well,
so.
it's nice to see it having some chance for fruition after all these years of work, so. Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 20, Parish of St. Maximilian Colby requests waiver of permit fees for the construction of the St. Maximilian Colby Parish Community Center.
Is it down to 2 hours?
Just to
I think
point
in
out
the
for the
past,
record.
we have stated that there are 3 of the members of the committee, Deputy Mayor Barr, myself, Committeeman Coggins, are members of this congregation, as you are our attorney, but
So
because of the...
because of the rule of necessity, you can move forward with the request.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Under the bills.
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated into the full minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Carried.
There are a number of reports from the municipal departments, the clerk's office, construction, finance, MUA, public works, and tax collector. All of these reports will be available upon request tomorrow at the clerk's office, but I'll make a motion to accept these reports.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So at this time, we've reached the public comment portion of the meeting. If anyone would like to address the Township Committee, now's the time to do so. Please come to the podium, state your name, your address, and your reason for addressing the Township Committee.
Linda Bateman, 14 East Tecumseh, Strathmere. I'm president of the Improvement Association. As you know, this past week was the inaugural run of the new striping on Commonwealth, and it wasn't without some difficulties. There are some wonderful positive things that have come from it. But as a couple of people had said, we really don't have a pedestrian or a safe pathway until all of the cars are removed and the no parking is enforced. And one of the most difficult things that we had in talking to people and trying to convince them to give up parking in front of their homes was, oh, it'll never work, it'll never be enforced. I have spoken with Lieutenant Henry from the State Police, who called me after the Memorial Day report or comments that I made, and he assured me that if we called 911, that I was to tell people to call 911, that a ticket or a slip or whatever would be issued and that they would respond. And I mentioned various scenarios. He said, of course. So in preparation for the weekend, Sea Isle put up large orange cones in the no parking area in Sea Isle and called attention to it. That didn't happen in the Whale Beach area, and people continued to park there. I have talked with Freeholder Maury. In fact, he texted or he called me on Saturday of 4th of July weekend. We all agreed in the beginning, this is a learning curve. People will figure it out. No one was using the lots. By the weekend, the lots were in use. They're made of a nice permeable sort of gravel, I don't know what it is, and I would say that they were about 2/3 full. There were parking places on 4th of July weekend open on the beach side, but there were, depending on the time of day or the day, 25, 50, 65 cars still parked illegally. People, I got an earful at the parade. People called, texted, and I repeated, call 911, call the state police. They said, we're on it, we know it, they were in town, but at one point someone said they went onto the beach and said, hey, if your car's out here, move. As the weekend went on, it was, please don't tell us how to do our business. We're the state police. And we realized that it's 4th of July weekend, they're 20 minutes away, there are lots of things going on that they need to attend to, but the bottom line is we don't have no parking enforcement. It was so bad, well, among other things, at the parade, I was told that a family in Whale Beach moved their cars. Their family couldn't park in front of their house, only to watch people come and park illegally in front of their house. That really stings, and I have no answer for that. She also said that she observed people parking perpendicular into the dunes on the beach side, went over and put notes under the windshield and said, please don't do this, you're ruining our dunes. Another person took it upon himself to go out and put things under the windshields. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want people confronting other people. I had pulled up a couple of times next to people and said, hey, this is a no parking zone. I talked to Scott Morgan. He told me as early as Monday tickets were being issued. A lot of people thanked me. A lot of people gave me some really interesting hand gestures. I don't think this is something that citizens can enforce. Interestingly enough, by the second or third day, there was no one parked illegally in Sea Isle because they have enforcement. So we need some help. And a couple of things too, as people park, and there are long stretches where there's no one parking, and then you get to some undeveloped lots and people are all parking there. So if you're walking or riding or pushing a baby coach, you suddenly have to swerve out into traffic, and that's almost more dangerous because cars can't always anticipate what you're doing. So we're asking that you consider some ways to help make it more safe. Is there a possibility of entering into a mutual aid agreement with Sea Isle? It's only 1.5 miles of road. It would take the stress off the state police, and it would help spread the word. And it would generate enough revenue almost to pay for it. If not, could we have some sort of part-time employee from 11 to 3 or whatever, especially on weekends, almost the equivalent of a parking attendant who would have the authority to issue summons? It's not working, it's not going to work. And the answer is not more signs. There are no parking, there are 35 no parking signs on that stretch of road.
Well, right now, we can't write a ticket under a local ordinance. The ordinance we introduced tonight
But who will write the ticket? The reality is the state police was in town, there was a DUI. The state police was in town for a fender bender. The state police was in town to issue tickets, but that could have been at noon, not at 2.
Right now, if there was a parking ticket issued by a township authority, it would come to court if they chose to challenge it, and it would be thrown out because there's no local ordinance.
They're actually writing the tickets under the state statute, so they can.
So the state
It's a
police are
county.
the only ones that can write the ticket. Right now, the state police.
All right, so,
Sergeant?
Could we have for the record?
Oh, yeah, Sergeant, can you come up and just, you can get your name for the record, because you're too far back to be taped.
Sergeant Brisbane, Woodbine State Police. The state police wrote over 35 summonses and warnings parking under the state summonses. We cannot write under the city ordinance yet. One of the major problems that we saw that even though there's a lot of no parking posted, there's still those old spaces that everyone used before. So there was also 3 cars that was towed away. And I mean, we have a trooper down there, and he was writing as much as possible. We're trying not to write summonses for every vehicle because it's a new ordinance, and that would, scare a lot of people away. So over 35 summonses and warnings was written, 3 cars towed. I
Sounds like you did a pretty good job.
I thought the trooper did a pretty good job.
True, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Word's gonna start to spread. And once word starts to spread, they're not gonna park there. But you can't have a trooper, excuse me, let me finish. You can't have the troopers out there 24/7 monitoring the parking spots. I believe I raised this concern when we had our talks in the very beginning, when we did the striping, as far as the enforcement end and the availability of law enforcement to do the job out there. In any law enforcement agency, parking is not always the prime call for service that you're going to respond to. You're going to have to give it some time. It's a learning curve. People need to learn. As soon as tickets are starting to be issued out there, believe me, the word will start to spread. But it's not like a light switch. They don't put signs out there. They don't put paint out there, and in one night, nobody parks there anymore.
And the comparison.
You got to correct the human behavior.
And the comparing this with CL that's not even fair. Because how many troopers do you have on in the daytime out here, Sarge? 4 troopers. CL,
this isn't about the state.
CL City probably had 40 troopers working this week, or 40 cops.
Exactly.
Okay, they probably dedicated somebody down there to patrol.
As special officers, they put special officers out there on foot that do nothing but parking enforcement. We don't have that here.
If I could finish, please.
Sure. I understand your frustration.
35 tickets is impressive. Word of mouth has gotten a lot better. It was totally ignored the first few days. I understand that. The point is that as soon as they leave, then people come back. That's the nature of the beast. No one is faulting the state police for the job that it did. I'm asking, can we explore mutual aid with Sea Isle? We're talking about a mile and a half of
Well,
road.
as long as we're partners with the state police, that's how it's going to continue. Okay? So,
Well, we have part-time boat attendants, boat ramp attendants. Can't we have a part-time parking person?
Well, right now, there's no local,
We don't have a
until
constable.
August 12th, we can't write a local ticket. So even if we had one, they can't write a ticket until August 12th, because there's no local ordinance to support it.
so we still have that
And
electric
we
road
can't
sign,
write
right?
New Jersey state
Don't we have-
statute
do we have
tickets.
access to our electric road sign? I'm thinking that we could maybe put a sign up, the electric sign saying, cars will be ticketed, please park in the parking lot that's provided, and say where it is. I mean, maybe beyond no parking, because nobody seems to be looking at that.
Actually,
It's
they can't.
strictly enforced.
If we put a sign out, the road sign, the electric sign that says, cars will be ticketed, please park in the provided parking lot, or whatever, whatever the street, whatever we can put up there, we'll make every effort to communicate what's going on there.
You can see if the county
I mean,
has some
this
signs available.
this was,
Actually, the county created this mess, let them put the signs out there.
They should probably have
The
some
county
signs.
has put numerous signs out. There are now those yellow signs popping up at every crosswalk. As far as your eye can see, we have signs. Signs aren't the answer. Maybe some stenciling would help, but until we have enforcement, it's not going to help. And I think Freeholder Maury and Bob Church, the county engineer, are working on this. They're at least responding and talking and concerned. Obviously, until we can get rid of 65 cars, we don't have a safe corridor. Almost 200 parking places were created. It's not as though people don't have a place to park.
right.
So
That was created because I was concerned that no one would abide by it, and we needed to have the parking.
Well,
So
Okay.
we will continue to work with the county to see,
Yes.
and with the state troopers to continue to have this process move forward.
Mr. Corson, would you consider letting your campers know about the new parking situation? We assume that local people were aware of this because there's been so much publicity about it, but we're thinking, how can we reach people from the mainland? How can we reach people from out of town or out of state? Could the local campgrounds be notified that this new configuration is out there? A lot
I'm
of
sure they
day
would, but I mean, I've dealt
trippers.
with campers my whole life, my whole career, that's all I know. And I'll tell you, I can't get them to sort recyclables, so
Well-
I'm not gonna tell them how to park their cars.
We could put it
I'm
on
underwhelmed.
UTV Channel 97 on the website, right? There are new no parking.
You can put the stuff on the website. It's done.
We'll put it on the website as well, if that, helps any.
Well, I think anything would help. A couple weeks ago, we had somebody hit and spent several days in the hospital. What does it take? Do we have to have another fatality, and then that's something we can count? I just feel that, you're all kind of rubbing your hands together and saying, well, this was the county's idea. But this bike path or this walkway will count toward some of the dollars and some of the South Jersey biking access things that we've been hearing about, the overall goal of connecting Cumberland County with Cape May County. So we will benefit from this, and we had so many more people out running and walking and pushing baby strollers. There's more to recreation in Strathmere and Whale Beach than just using the beach or just using the bay, and it's something that will ultimately enhance the quality of life for people. You worked hard with CIL to get the parking, you worked to get the no beach tags. What more could people ask for? It's a perfect situation. They have a safe place to get in and out of their cars, to unload their children, and to cross in a well-marked crossing area. It seems to me that would be something that we should support, not say, well, we told you so.
Well, none of us here are not supporting it, but, I mean, we can't write tickets, I mean,
But can't we find some other solutions? We could put a warning, you could authorize someone, you could talk with CIL. There are lots of things we can do.
well, we can't,
Well, maybe perhaps one of you could talk with Freeholder Maury or with, please, I guess not the engineer. He's done his signage and done what he has to do
well,
legally.
you didn't hear what we did there, we're getting one of those big flashing street signs out there.
And where will that be?
Well, we have it, I mean, these guys.
Well, we're talking about a mile and a half,
It's
so,
probably gonna be in the no parking zone, to be honest with you.
I think you have to give it some time. I understand that you have frustrations, but it's not going to happen overnight.
well, it's creating a sense of false safety. You think that you're in a no parking area, you think that you're safe, and you're really not, because it's not a safe corridor. It's still an unsafe place to navigate.
We understand that, but you're gonna have to give it some time. We're only a few weeks into the summer season, and the paint's not even dry out there yet, and you're gonna have to give it time for people to learn, and that's how it works.
And then you want to, just warn people to watch going up to the people and tell them they can't park there. In today's world, it's, I know the frustrations and what you want to do.
I don't want people doing that. I try to discourage people from doing it.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to address the Township Committee? Okay, it doesn't appear that there's anyone else. this evening that wants to address the Township Committee, so I'll close the public portion of the meeting and turn to Mr. Coggins to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. Contract negotiation with KD National Force Security LLC and Cape Professional Billing Incorporated. Litigation, Holt versus Upper Township, and personnel. I also include in my motion the estimated time and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. With respect to employment and personnel matters, such discussions will be made public if and when formal action is taken or when the individuals involved consent that it can be made public. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality.
Second.
Call the
Barr?
roll.
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes?
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young? Yes. And Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Thank you for those who have attended this evening. Please drive safely home and have a great week.